introduction about yourself, and then we can
Sure.
dive in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for inviting me, Shilpa. I'm really so delighted and thrilled to share my experience and the knowledge that I have gained over the years and experience. And I've been to Kosa. I love it there. And Shilpa invited me to come and teach in person. So it's a hybrid program, which we'll talk about online, and then also some weekends will be in person. But I got started back in the 1980s. I was a Vedic science student at Marshall International University in Fairfield, Iowa, back in 1981. And I was introduced to Ayurveda from there. And at that time, I had high vata and I had lots of anxiety and just was really a frazzled 20-year-old. And I started learning about Ayurveda and went through the Ayurvedic body treatments called Panchakarma. So I did 7 days of that out in the countryside here in just a little country house. And some Ayurvedic physicians from India had come and trained how to do Panchakarma. And after those treatments, I felt really transformed. I felt mentally clear. I was calmer. I could sleep better. And I think it just helped me get through some trauma that didn't know I had until I started to feel much better. And I just fell in love with the treatments and then was trained how to do about 18 treatments. So I had a lot of hands-on experience. And shortly after I met my teacher, Vaidya Ramakant Mishra of the Shakavansya lineage, and just developed a over an 18-year mentorship with him. And he basically taught me everything I know about Ayurveda. I have he's has passed the last 6 years, so I have another teacher, the Raju family in Hyderabad, India, that I also work with and consult with. But yeah, so it's been a huge gift to me, and Ayurveda is truly holistic. I've been doing it for many years. My daughter, who's now 30, was an Ayurveda baby, so I did the Ayurveda mother baby program at that time during my pregnancy, and then the postpartum Ayurveda program. So that was a really significant transition point in my life. And yeah, her first solid food was was khichdi. So
Mine.
yeah, so she still likes khichdi. That's still one of her favorite things. But yeah, so that's I'm also a licensed psychotherapist, and I integrate Ayurveda into my practice for a more holistic approach. And a couple years ago during COVID, I stopped doing so much hands-on body work, and I created Ayurveda Amritanan Learning Center and this will be our fifth cohort starting on June 2nd.
Yay.
Yeah,
Well, wonderful. So let's just jump into a little more about what Ayurveda is. And, um, maybe you can just start with just the basics. What is Ayurvedic medicine?
sure. So if you happen to join the course, if you decide I'll be saying, Ayurveda is a lifetime of study. And my teacher says lifetimes. He corrected me. So it's something that you never stop learning. So whatever I say in this 45-minute session, it's very brief, but in short, Ayurveda is a natural system of medicine. It originated in India, and it's focused on preventative health, but it also goes into disease and different programs to address chronic illness as well. And it's based on the five elements: earth, air, fire, water, and space. So we all have different components to our nervous system, to our physiology, our psychology. So once we have an understanding of what these elements are and how we're connected to all the elements that's out there is also inside of here. So it's the sun and the moon and the air and the whole universe is a deep understanding and connection is something that we'll learn in this curriculum. So we'll understand a deep interconnection to other people and to ourselves and the whole planet, basically, and all the planets. So Vedic astrology is also something that is considered a part of it. Though we'll just have one lecture on that and its connection to Ayurveda, and also the physical environment, something called Vastu or Stapacha Veda, down to the very homes that we live in. There's this ancient Vedic science is really very comprehensive, and everything is a science according to that to create a better quality of life.
So, in terms of quality of life, what are some of the health benefits of Ayurveda?
So one of the main things is prevention. So it's and healthy longevity. So it could be anything from digestive imbalances, inflammatory imbalances, pain, migraines, headaches, elimination, constipation, better skin condition, mental clarity, emotional stability, more energy, reduced um, fatigue, and just, less arthritis, more healthy joints. There's really no end. And then there's different categories. So it could be the areas in our program, we have spend a whole month on Ayurvedic psychology. We spend a whole month on digestion and then daily routine. So there's a lot of different areas, and it's 9 modules, and so we address one particular section in each module, and then later on we go into specific imbalances such as inflammatory issues and women's health as well.
So I think, there are all these lovely benefits of Ayurveda, but I think one of the most important things is that there is a sense that we are all, yes, we're all made up of the five elements, but we all have different constitutions, meaning we're kind of a different mix. And so we do a lot of customization. So, what are the body types in Ayurveda?
So those are Vata, Pitta, Kapha. So everyone is unique, as Shilpa was saying, and we all have a different amount of the 5 elements. So fire and water it's a Sanskrit word, it's called Pitta, and then we have earth and water, which is called Kapha, and then we have air and space, which is Vata. So some people are more airy by nature. They have a smaller build. They may be very enthusiastic and spontaneous, and they're the people who walk in the room and they have great ideas. They're full of creativity. They're kind of fast moving, fast talking. And then we have a Pitta dominant person. A Pitta dominant person is more a fire element. They're very dynamic. They have leadership ability. They're very organized. They tend to be good speakers, and they're entrepreneurial in some way, and they have more of a medium build. They can be competitive. They do like competitive sports. And they have a tendency to have kind of more inflammatory issues, maybe like acid reflux or more heat related problems, reddish skin or rashes, things like that, as compared to the dryness of air and space of Vata. They have tendencies for constipation because the colon can get dry. They also have can have insomnia or anxiety. So every dosha has like their balanced aspect and their imbalanced. And then we have kapha, which is earth and water. And so they have maybe a bigger physiology. They're the kind of earth mama that walks into the room. They're a little bit heavier set, bigger boned, more flesh on the body. They're more of the calmer doshas. So they may have bigger eyes and thick eyelashes, and they have a tendency to, their gait is a little bit slower, but they tend to have generous hearts and make very devoted friends. But they have a tendency for weight gain, diabetes, and depression if it's out of balance. So we cover a lot of detail, and you'll really get to know what your balance is, what your imbalance is, and then how we understand our family, our friends, and our clients, like what is their imbalance and what is their nature. And we focus on solutions to coming back into balance.
So, one thing that you talked about Ayurveda being about disease prevention, and that really comes in the form of daily practice. It's all the
Right.
little things add up over time, can
Mhm.
add up to be harmful or beneficial. So, what are some of the types of daily practices that people can do at home?
Yeah, there's so many. And so we kind of have to pick and choose what it charms us and what we can actually do. Otherwise we just do our practices all day long and don't get anything done. So, usually I recommend people to start with one or two different practices. It has to do with something called the Ayurveda clock. So the different elements are dominant in the body and in the environment. So for example, pitta, which is the fire element, is strongest at noon, and that's the time when digestion is strongest. So one practice is to have your biggest meal of the day at lunchtime, and not to delay lunch, because if you delay lunch and or skip breakfast, then that pitta can go very high and you can get kind of grumpy, or that word hangry is really an Ayurvedic, came from Ayurveda, because skipping or delaying meals for someone who has a pit imbalance makes them more like irritable and can make more acid reflux in the body. And also, like, one other practice, it seems really simple, but waking up when the sun right before the sun rises to balance all the doshas. And that's a really powerful practice to wake up early. And it's so interesting that you read now in the trends, like how morning
Mhm.
is this magic time, like before dawn. And that's like the concept of Ayurveda for thousands of years. There is some magic if you can get a full night of sleep and actually wake up before the sun actually comes out. It will change your whole life. It will change how your whole day will go. So those are two recommendations that anybody can start with. But the idea is you have to get a good night's sleep in order to do that. So we go into this Ayurveda clock throughout the whole curriculum because it's so important. It's a way to align the rhythms of our mind and body with the sun and with the cycles of the moon. So it's very interconnected, what is happening out there and how we feel in here.
Yeah, and modern science talks about these things these days, circadian rhythms, right? And
Right.
circadian eating and sleeping is proven now based on, how our digestion functions, our metabolism. I was a late night wake up as late as possible kind of person before I
Huh.
started my practice. And I thought that I was just, people say like I'm a late night person, but you're not. You're a human being who's meant to wake up before the sun rises. And that has really changed my life.
Oh, yeah,
Um,
it is life
yeah,
changing, isn't it? Yeah. That
yeah,
one
I
thing, just that
feel like
one
a completely
thing.
different person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so in addition to those daily practices, there are daily detox practices and there are seasonal practices. Why is that important? If you're like doing all the right things, why should there also be detoxification?
Yeah, that's a great detox is a huge subject in Ayurvedic medicine, and we spend module 4, we spend also a whole month on detox and how to do our own inner cleansing and how to do a cleanse for other people. So basically, it's just, how we get our car, we get the oil changed every, 3 or 4 months, um, because then the car can run smoothly. And the same thing, like every season, we do a cleanse to just kind of get rid of some of the toxins that digestive toxins that we've accumulated, something called ama. So um there's also a weekly cleanse that one can do to maintain once a week, which I really also think it's great, but it means a lighter diet during the cleanse. Sometimes people like, especially in the springtime, they may feel some heaviness or depression, kind of sluggish. Their digestion isn't quite moving, and that just means like in the spring, as the weather is warming, some of those toxins are kind of thick and heavy. So there's an increase of kapha. So we want to lighten the diet, take some herbs to cleanse the colon, cleanse the blood, cleanse the lymph, rest a little bit more, and do these different cleanses. So the cleanse
We
that
actually offer, sorry, we actually offer a guided cleanse at Kosha during the springtime, and some people are just kind of finishing that up right now and feels great.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, that is such a gift to the community. There's the treatments, the body treatments, and diet and herbs. So that this is a great offering for the community. It's so needed. Yeah. So we go really deep into that. And this is based on the Shakavansya lineage as taught by Vaidya Ramakant Mishra, my teacher, and he teaches in a very doable way, and it's not so difficult to do. It's also a safe type of cleanse, so you don't have some of the side effects of a detox crisis. Yeah.
Mhm. Um, it's very gentle and nourishing. I think a
Yes.
lot of people imagine like a juice cleanse where you're starving and you're just not. I mean, you do go through a lot of ups and downs, I will say that, but it's
Yeah.
all in the name of helping you and nourishing you in a very different way.
Right.
Um, and during the cleanse, you do take, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
During the cleanse, when cleansing, you take herbs, but are there herbs that people can just take that would be good for all doshas at any given time, or should people not be taking
Well,
herbs?
usually triphala, which is a combination of three herbs, which is Bhumi, Amalaki. No, it's Amalaki and Haritaki and Bibitaki. So those are three herbs that are made into a blend called Triphala. So pretty much anybody can take that. I prefer to take it in tablet form because it tastes really bad if you try to eat it otherwise. It's really bitter, but it's a gentle purification. If you can take one or two at nighttime, and it will gently cleanse the colon. So that's a general recommendation, but there's lots of specific herbal teas for each person. Everyone has a different imbalance as far as toxin goes. So you'll be learning specifically how to do a detox that is catered for each person individually. And that would include specific herbs and different teas and cleansing rituals.
So, I guess we could transition a little. Why do you think people should learn about Ayurveda?
Yeah, well, I think it's a lifelong benefit for your own health, for preventative health, to take care of your families and friends. And you can also practice it professionally, guiding clients for a healthier lifestyle, for prevention. And it's profound knowledge. It's not just a diet, it's not just a lifestyle. Just the knowledge is so ancient and eternal. There's a sense of eternity about this knowledge. And so when you're studying Ayurveda, there people do comment they do feel nourished just by hearing this ancient knowledge that has lasted for thousands of years, that has been time tested and proven to have so many benefits. And so there's a richness to the knowledge, and it's there's many components, and you can kind of pick and choose what charms you, what delights you the most, and do like a more focused study. And there's an ancient verse in the Vedas from the Bhagavad Gita, and it says, even a little bit of this knowledge will reduce fear. because when you have, it's not just knowledge, it's deep knowledge. It's about the expansion of one's consciousness. It's about personal growth as well. And so that just reduces anxiety, it reduces fear. And we live in such a chaotic world. So when you have this beautiful eternal knowledge that is nourishing your soul, nourishing your body, your emotions, then it makes life better. It improves the quality of your life. It makes it bearable.
Well, I love that. And I can speak from personal experience, and I sometimes go back. We have access to the modules for 2 years. So I sometimes go back and just listen to those that I need in the moment. And so, and it's not just because, like, oh, I need to study and I need to remember this so I can go talk to a client about it. It's just like the sense of, you even said this at the beginning of the course, like just letting it wash over you, really,
Yeah.
and maybe not even intellectualizing it too much, because it is I think it's in our cellular memory, right? This information is already there. So to me, it's just like remembering, and you're helping us remember who we are, um and we are very disconnected in this society. And so just remembering that connection and feeling it, and really sharing the science behind it too. So when the intellectual mind gets in the way, it's like, oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. It actually makes sense. um it is really comforting and beautiful, and um
Thank you.
it is really a gift. Yeah. So can you tell us more about the program?
Sure. By the way, that was so beautifully said that it is like a remembering, and the intention, we all set what's called the Sankalpa at the beginning of, on the very first day of our time together, like what you want to get out of the program, how do you want to feel during the program, and to have set a very specific intention, and you'll likely be able to manifest that throughout the course. And so we don't want to strain during the course. Part of it is like just allowing that information to wash over you. You can listen to the lectures over as many times as you want, or just it takes a long time for it to sink in and to really know it, but it is natural because it is part of our DNA. So I guess we can talk about the program. It's a 9-month program or longer. You can do either work at your own pace, or you can follow along. There's 4 lessons, 1 lesson a week. So it's 4 lessons a month for 9 months. There's also some bonus videos. The classes will meet online once a month, and then you can listen to the other pre-recorded videos that are uploaded onto Teachable once a week. And there is also another availability of doing in-person classes at Kosa Spa, and that we have those dates already set. So that will be our first weekend together, will be Sunday, June 2nd to Monday, June 3rd. And then that will be the first module. And then you'll have the schedule for the live Zoom calls that we'll be having as in addition to that. So there will be 3 in-person weekends at Kosa, and there'll be some Ayurvedic food, and we'll be doing our Ayurvedic practices and learning together, getting to know one another, creating like a very safe learning environment for people to just grow together as well. Do you want to add something to
Yeah,
what?
I'm so excited about that part.
Yeah.
So they'll be on a Sunday. The beginning will be on a Sunday, and we'll meet around like 6 o'clock. But everyone has the option of having some treatments at the spa with a special student discount, to kind of get your body and mind into the right vibrational space. And yeah, we would just greet you with some tea and have a nice, that evening would be an initial the Sankalpa piece of it. And then the next morning, Monday, there'll be some guided meditation, some yoga. It's really retreat style. And teachings will have a little Ayurvedic breakfast. We'll also serve you an Ayurvedic lunch. You'll have time for journaling to use our sauna and a set of teachings from Rose. And each of the sessions will kind of follow that format. But we're really going to focus on the kind of more interactive, hands-on pieces. I think we're going to do some cooking,
Yeah.
exploration of herbs. We're going to, in addition to the yoga and the yoga and the meditation and the food, right? And the teachings would involve things like cooking or pulse taking, marmotherapy. There are all kinds of hands-on pieces that you'll be able to learn in those spaces. And I think it'll just be fun for everyone to be together in person. So that
Yeah.
the 3 days are optional. The course and the certification is available to you without those 3 days, but I think it would really add that additional layer of richness, to make it to embody, the practices and to meet Rose in person.
Yeah, I highly recommend the in person because coming together to learn, there's like a, a collective consciousness that gets created from a small group studying and learning together. It's very nourishing and supportive. But during the whole 9 month, you'll be learning over 40 different Ayurvedic herbal formulas. There's 3 different herbal companies that I use in my own practice. On module 5, you learn to actually start practicing intakes and understanding how to recommend a dinacharya, which is the behavioral aspect, lifestyle aspect of Ayurveda diet, and a couple basic herbs already at module 5. So it's very hands-on, and we'll have case discussions starting on module 5 of, bringing a client that you want to talk about for specific imbalances. We focus in this program on prevention, not on disease. But later on in the program on module 6, 7, 8, and 9, we do go a little bit deeper specific about digestion issues, inflammatory issues, and other pitta related imbalances, kapha related imbalances, and vata related imbalances like insomnia. So you'll be learning, it's a very comprehensive program. And the certificate is an Ayurveda health coach or Ayurveda lifestyle nutrition counselor. You can have on your certificate either one of those names. There's also a capstone project that you can do of your choice. It's a way to demonstrate what you've learned in the program. And it could be anything. You could create a course, you could make a spa, what Shilpa did. Some people have made little cookbooks or made, video presentations, whatever is like your personal interest, what you want to do. That's part of the learning. So, as I said, there's also a 176-page workbook, and journal to help guide you through every layer of the course. There's individual one-to-one mentoring sessions as well. So you'll get to do your own health intake and really work on your own health and well-being as well.
I'm pretty excited. I think I'd like to open it up for questions, and it can be,
Great.
you have Rose. She's, as you can see, such a wealth of knowledge, so you can ask her anything about Ayurveda or the course at this point. And I think anyone can unmute themselves and turn on your video, I think, without requiring me to do anything.
Don't ask
And
all at once.
I know, right?
I have a question. Go
Okay.
ahead. So what differs from like your lineage that you learned from to like other lineages?
Yeah, great question. So, the lineage, the beautiful thing about having a lineage is that there is like a transmission that happens. So Vaidya Mishra, my teacher, comes from, he was like the eighth generation of uh Ayurvedic doctors. And so that knowledge is very pure, and it's very specific in the fact that it's a very gentle approach, and it's going to be focused on the root cause of the problem. Um, as I mean, you'll see what's out there. Some of the programs out there is a little bit dry, I would say, if it's just a textbook approach. So this is more, I'm just teaching you everything I know that my teacher taught me. Traditionally, Ayurveda and Vedic knowledge was taught orally, so it's just handed down from teacher to student, teacher to student. So it has a lot of Shakti to it. It has a lot of beautiful feminine energy, balancing energy. It's not just like learning from a book. And some of the schools, it's more kind of a textbook approach, but everyone's kind of, has what appeals to them and what doesn't. Some people prefer that way, and some people want more of this kind of this Shakti kind of transmission that is coming from his lineage. Yeah.
Thank you.
I wish I had a picture of him here. I don't know if I can't, I won't be able to find it. It'll take too
Oh,
much.
okay.
I should have. But during the course, in the introduction, I do have his photo and his father.
You do some video. Don't you do some video with him?
Yeah,
Share some video and some mantra
yeah,
as well.
Would you be able to spell that?
yeah. I can put it in the chat.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, that'd be good.
Let's see. Here's the chat. So I'm going to put his name. It's Vaidya Ramakant Mishra. There. And he basically he formulated he has a company his wife runs. It's called Chandika. There's over
Yeah,
like
we use a lot of their herbs in our treatments and sell them in our shop.
there's probably over 500 different Ayurveda products on chandika.com that he formulated from his research into the ancient Ayurveda textbooks. So he was a master herbal formulator, and he was an incredible healer, internationally renowned healer. And the products are really profound. He developed the transdermal marma system. It's a way to get herbs into the body without doing it orally, but through the skin. Because a lot of people cannot tolerate taking herbs. Their liver cannot tolerate it. So he has herbs, oral herbs. He has all kinds of transdermal herbs as well. So part of the program is you learn how to use some of these products. Yeah. And he also has different food items, and there's lectures. There's a lot of on YouTube. You can listen to him as well. Yeah. Yeah.
Anybody
Any
else
questions
have
about
questions?
Ayurveda or anything? What are people's experience? How much do you know? How experienced are you with Ayurveda? Has anyone experienced the beautiful treatments at Kosa and previously? Somebody put something in the chat.
Self-study on and off, Lorna.
Okay, great. What are some of the benefits people are looking for to practice, have a more of a practice for themselves? Like allergies or PMS or anything, anybody looking for?
Lorna put something in the chat. Better
Better
digestion and less.
Okay,
Mhm.
great.
It seems like a lot of people have the same
Yeah,
goals.
for
Mhm.
sure. I mean, a lot of most digestion issues have to do with our state of, mind. And so in Ayurveda, we say that the mind comes first and the body follows. So when we take care of the mind, then the body will respond to that oftentimes with that. So yeah, it really can help. Some of the practice like meditation and some of the treatments like Shirodar really can help with anxiety. And then you'll feel direct results um, with better digestion.
You'll jump on with digestion. Yeah. Yes, it is all connected. I mean, again, modern science is now there's more focus on regulation of the nervous system and taking you out of that fight or flight mode so that you can focus on healing. And that it's very difficult for your body to heal when you're in that mode. So digestion, yeah,
Yeah,
follows
the,
the
the
mind.
shi- that's true. And the Shirodara treatment at Kosa really helps with that nervous system, the regulation of the nervous system.
Mhm.
It's really a powerful treatment. It's really good for ADHD. It's good for insomnia, digestion, health, anxiety, regulation of the nervous system. It's such a profound treatment.
I'm gonna say we're about at time here. And Rose, do you mind putting your email address in the chat for
Sure.
people to reach out to you directly if they have any questions, just about Ayurveda, about the program? I'll put mine as well if you want to know about the spa or anything about the program as well. I'm available because I have been through it and I'm happy to share my experience with you. But I really do hope y'all will join. We have the registration early bird deadline. Rose, do you want to just talk about that when
Yeah,
that is and
so well, the early bird is, I believe it's the 18th of May. And that you'll get a printout of the workbook sent to you and also a bottle of Ayurvedic Abhyanga oil from Kosa. And then the actual registration date is May 22nd for after the early bird.
yeah, and that would be the deadline. And I will add that I'm a small business owner and I don't have unlimited resources, and this was a very, very affordable program compared to the other ones that I have explored. So I think if you ever have considered doing something like this is really the time. It must be speaking to you for a reason. And it is such a worthy investment into your own health and your own state of mind and your own connection to all things. Thank you so much, Rose. And I
Yeah, my
hope to hear from
pleasure.
you all.
Yeah. It'll be a nice intimate group. It's not going to be an overwhelming large group. And personally, I prefer small intimate groups, so I'm excited about that too. Yeah.
It's like 5 to 10 is what we're thinking, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, good. Thank you, everybody. You have a great night.
Thank you,
We will,
everybody. Nice to
yeah,
meet you. Yeah.
take care.
Bye-bye.